Star Trek is owned by CBS Studios, Inc. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor, and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it we go nowhere. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. These are the voyages of the U.S.S. Pegasus.
Science Officer's Log Supplemental. We received a distress call from a research base on Xeres 4. When we arrived, we found that half the planet had been consumed by an ion storm. In our attempts to rescue the researchers stranded on the base, our ship crash-landed 1 kilometer away. I have discovered a scientific curiosity that conflicts with our initial assessment of the planet and its local wildlife. There may be more to this planet than meets the eye. End supplemental.
What was the last thing we actually did? Like, the last thing I remember doing was lifting the lieutenant into the bed. And but did anything happen after that?
The science officer was outside. Yeah. And we're inside helping out
Okay, so that's where we ended.
the L. Yeah. the botanist into the bed.
Yep, and she is in the bed and sedated and as taken care of as she can be for the moment.
So, while you guys are doing that, the science officer, Aura, has been outside looking around, and he just comes back in now. Guys, I found something out there. You're gonna want to take a look at this.
What is it, Lieutenant?
It's well, some footsteps that look humanoid. There aren't supposed to
Alright.
be there aren't supposed to be any natives on this planet.
Could it have been someone from the research center?
I mean, we're a kilometer away, and
But if they were out looking for samples or anything to study.
I guess it's barefoot humanoid tracks.
Well, that would be unusual.
Some of them appear alien. There is one Andorian set of tracks.
Wait,
Not-
so you found multiple tracks? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, multiple tracks.
How many distinct sets have you found, or can you tell?
It's a little hard to tell. They're overlapping in places, and I'm sure I could investigate more closely to find out. See if I can.
If
Do
you'd like
they-
us to go... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Shoot. You first, Lieutenant.
No, go ahead.
You first, Lieutenant. That's an order.
If you'd like us to come take a look, it would be all right to leave Lieutenant Book for the moment she is stable.
Okay. If I had to guess, I'd say there's probably 3 to 6 different sets of tracks.
Are they heading in the same direction, or?
Yeah, I mean, more or less. It's a little bit chaotic, so it's hard to tell.
Okay. Do they appear to be going in the direction of the research center?
It's hard to tell. I mean, if you want, you can have a look. I'm not an expert in footprint direction.
Yes.
Figuring that out, especially when it comes to alien footsteps, it can be hard to tell which way is forward and which way is back.
Well, I grew up in the frontier amongst asteroids and, colonies. So all I know is space. But we can go and have a look. Shall we go? Lieutenant? Asking Tuan.
Yes, let's go take a look. I believe our patient should be fine for the moment. And yeah, if Aura's showing the way, then Kelle will follow.
Yep.
Tuan.
Yes, Commander?
How long will Book be okay for?
Well, immediately or in the long term?
Yeah, by the pain, are you going to leave extra painkillers with her? Like, do we have to be back here in, say, 24 hours?
Yes, I would want to return in 24 hours would be the absolute maximum amount of time I would want to be away for. Even that would be pushing it. I'd prefer to return in maybe 10 hours to re-administer some medicine.
Okay. All right, let's go investigate these tracks.
So Aura leads you just a little ways away from where we crash landed. There's some more trees that look kind of alien, and some small critters. And there's like a bit of a clearing, and there's a bunch of tracks on the ground. So this is where I found them.
Okay. Where? I don't see anything.
All over the ground here. Like, these tracks weren't made by me earlier or anything. These are like humanoid creatures, which is weird for this planet because we were told there's no natives. That's what our records showed.
Hunt's scratching his head. He's testing the ground with his foot. It is a bit soft. I can see your tracks. Do these tracks... Lieutenant, do you think these were done a while ago, or do you think these are recent?
Okay, so is insight, that's more into people, right?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
And,
Reason.
okay, so
probably.
reason in, I guess, science. Can't see why it would be anything else. So reason, science roll. And
Hey, nice.
that's good. So that's 2 success. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty recent.
Recent. How long have we been here at this point?
Yeah, we haven't been here that long, but like if it had rained or ion stormed, I guess it could have washed away the footprints, and the ground is still a little bit damp. So I think it's safe to say this happened like within a couple days at most.
Ah, okay. So not immediately recent, but they're
No.
not very old. I understand.
Who's keeping track of momentum, by the way?
I think Adam and I both were, weren't we?
I was.
Okay.
I believe
was
we've.
until I lost track.
Until you lost. I believe we have one.
We just got another one.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So I think we've determined that we're not alone out here, so let's be on our guard. I don't think we need to be too wary, but the fact that there's other people here means they could be hostile.
You stated that these are all barefoot, so which would indicate maybe I don't know, some natives perhaps. I would assume that if there was some sort of military presence, then they would be wearing boots.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although I don't know how it can be natives if there's an Andorian footprint, because Andorians are not native to this planet. It could be.
As far as we were aware, nobody is native to this planet.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it is someone from the research station.
Maybe. I suppose if they were lost, they could have lost their
Walking
footwear,
around
but
with appropriate footwear.
Yeah, it is strange. Well, I think we should make our way to the research station as quickly as possible. We can ask them ourselves if it comes to that.
Lead the way, Lieutenant.
So you start off, and after a little bit, you start to come out of the forest, and it starts to get more rocky. And ahead, you can see that you got to sort of, it's not a mountain, but it's definitely a larger sort of winding, sort of more like a large hill. I mean, it's steep enough to be dangerous, and you can see that there's a ravine that's about 4 meters wide that you've got to cross, and you can see there's a big sort of upright sort of rock that if you could knock it down or move it, possibly be able to make a bridge.
Commander?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Behind us, there are some... I don't know if they're natives, but there are some people. Well, they can't be natives. There are... Oh, sorry.
The commander's pinching the bridge of his nose at the moment.
There are 6 people behind us, if either of the other 2 will turn and look. And they appear to be wearing Federation clothing, but it's very ripped and tattered, and they're all missing some items of clothing. They've got clubs and rocks, and they look more like your stereotypical cavemen.
Huh.
Commander turns, or Hunt turns, spies these guys.
Aura draws his phaser.
The commander's got his left arm on top of the phaser.
Don't...
We don't want to scare these guys.
Well, don't shoot them either. They might be...
Are they looking offensive? Aside from their
Are they
attire?
looking offensive? Do we disapprove of their fashion choices?
I think we disapprove of a lot of their choices.
But they look like they're like an angry mob.
An angry mob of cavemen, yes.
You know, the usual. They look like they're wearing Federation clothing. They might be from the research station.
Do these look like researchers to you?
Oh, not particularly, but maybe something's happened to them.
They're carrying clubs.
Well, yeah, but like not fashioned, like as in made. These look like they've
Just big
snapped off.
sticks, or...
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
thick enough that they'd be dangerous if they smacked you on the side of the head.
Yeah, I keep my phaser pointed at the ground, but drawn.
Hunt will do the same. If they're moving forward, are they moving forward, or what are they doing?
Oh yeah, they're closing. They sound more like some form of primate. The noises they're making.
Oh.
Do you want to try and talk to them?
I'm not trained in de-escalating situations like this.
Aren't you a commander?
I'm commander of the con,
Of the con.
Lieutenant.
I have training in de-escalation, but I don't know if this group seems particularly receptive to reasoning.
Right. The commander will point his phaser and say, "All right, don't move a step further, or we'll be forced to take further action."
And they're at medium range, and they do not respond other than the grunts and growls and howls.
Permission to fire a warning shot, sir?
Granted.
I fire a phaser bolt at the ground in front of them.
And it is essentially initiative.
Fun.
So you fire, it hits, they go berserk, they start howling and screaming. They sound like big monkeys. A couple throw rocks which miss. And the way combat works, there is no initiative order. PC goes first unless I spend threat, which in this case I'm not. I'm saving it for more fun things.
Hooray.
More fun things than having us stoned by cavemen. Okay.
So you can spend momentum. It takes 2 momentum to keep initiative, but a PC always starts. It goes PC, enemy, PC, enemy, PC, enemy, until you run out of one or the other.
Okay.
So if you run out of enemies first and you have 2 PCs left, you go PC, PC. If you have run out of PCs and 2 enemies left, it'll go enemy, enemy at the end.
Although if you run out of either or, isn't initiative kind of done? Combat is
provide. Well, everyone has to act. So until you end, everyone has acted, then it goes to the top of the order.
Okay, I see.
So if you have 1 enemy, it would go 1 PC, 1 enemy,
PC,
then the remainder of the
PC.
PCs.
Okay, yes.
And vice versa. If you're fighting 3 Klingons and you're by yourself, you'd go first, then all 3 Klingons. Unless they spend threat to go first. If you can also spend momentum to keep it. So if you want to go PC, PC, you can spend momentum to go twice. So who's going first and what is your action?
I probably won't go first just because I just fired a shot. But I would like to say, set your phasers to stun.
Knowing that my phase is already set to stun.
Mine is literally always on stun.
Okay, well, I can share.
So who's carrying what? Is there any guys like not carrying sticks?
There is rocks, there is clubs, and that's what you see.
Gender?
Hard to tell, but you think a mix of male and female. Not quite an even mix, maybe, but and one of them looks to be Andorian, but a weird Andorian.
A weird end.
Like weird as in, hey, go
large,
man.
Large forehead, more hunched over,
more caveman looking.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a change in, from what you can see, they definitely don't look. It's not just dirt and that on their faces.
Does it look like me at all?
If you're worried that an alternative version of yourself has come through and is now a caveman, no.
Okay. That is exactly what I was worried about, so thanks.
Well,
so
Commander's going to shoot probably what he deems as the biggest threat. Maybe the guy with the biggest stick.
Okay. So it is daring security.
Okay, so it's 14. And it's two, isn't it?
2d20, yeah. Oh, nice.
8 and 6, 2 successes.
And is there any focus that would apply? No. Okay, so
whatever
roll.
Composure is. I don't know what composure is.
4d6.
15.
Don't add them together. You're looking at the individual numbers.
6, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, so 1 and 2 is the damage you do respectively. 3 and 4 is nothing. 5 and 6 is 1 point of damage and a effect.
Hey.
So the 2 doesn't do anything?
Yeah, no, the 2 does 2.
Oh, the
1
2
and
does
2 is damage respective.
Okay.
3, 4 is nothing.
Oh, yes.
5, 6 is 1 point of damage and an effect.
And an
so
effect.
You did 2
3
points. 3 points of damage and an effect.
And an effect. How do we know what effect?
That doesn't apply. You can do intense, designed to inflict more harm on the target. Knockdown.
Stun, though.
Yes. So I wouldn't take it as damage. Piercing ignores more of the target's natural resistance. Vicious does more additional damage. Of course, Klingons and that love going for vicious, piercing, intense stuff like that. But you have knockdown. See, like, I'll allow intense, but instead of it being an intense in the form of injury, it can be a more intensive stun. Knockdown knocks them down. Piercing ignores armor points, and vicious does additional damage.
Mm.
In this case, the additional damage can be non-lethal damage.
Yeah, okay.
So you had 2 effects. So it's
one
a case
effect,
of...
wasn't it? Or 6 is 2 effects, is it?
Oh, I thought you had a 5 and a 6.
No. I had a 2 and a 6.
Okay, so you do 3 points of damage and one effect. Yeah. So it's always one effect, really. It's just depending which one you do, sort of how good it is.
Extra damage,
which would make it 4 points of stun damage.
Mm. Well, how does stun damage work, though?
They hit 0, they're unconscious.
Ah, okay. As opposed to
out of it.
If they're knocked down,
they're on the ground.
They lose their turn.
The target may resist the effect, but I'm not going to. They're brutes essentially, and I have to spend points of threat if I want to make them act on that round, which I'm not going to.
Yep. So knockdown seems.
So yeah, they're effectively So like. You hit them in the chest, and it just like the stun, they just lose control of their legs, and they just that particular one just gets knocked down and is laying on the ground, rolling around a bit, but seems to be just like Jello, having trouble. Nothing's working, getting the signals to the limbs to do stuff. It's just not working.
Mm-hmm.
And one will throw a rock at the commander. And the rock goes sailing by. You're quite happy about that because it was a jagged sort of rock, and you think it wouldn't have just given you concussion sort of damage, or concussive damage, but also it might have cut you. So you're quite happy that hunking piece of rock.
Because don't forget, I still have a pretty bad concussion as it is.
You wouldn't want it.
You have double concussion.
Double concussion.
PC action.
Both sides of the hemisphere of the brain have concussed.
Oh dear. Kelle does not like combat. She wants to take a look at the rock that we felt we could make into a bridge and see if there's any way she can do that while other people are fighting.
Okay. It's about 12 feet tall, about 4 feet wide. It is leaning away from the rock wall at the back a little. Okay. You might be able to squeeze in and push. Under normal circumstances, it needs to be quite difficult, but it is sort of teetering a little on the edge.
Okay, then, yeah. I'm going to try and do that. What would that be? Is it...
Probably still daring security.
Daring security? Oh, no. Okay.
And you do think it's not going to be the easiest thing to do.
Well, give it a shot.
Either being weaker or alone, but you never know.
You do never know, and... Hey, I don't want to fight, and if I can't talk to him, I'm going to try and do something else. Yeah, no. Very much no. That's a 20, and neither succeeded anyway.
Okay, what's your complication? So you climb up, you sort of wedge yourself in between the rock wall and you're pushing with all your might. It is moving a little, but it doesn't fall like you want. What's your complication?
The only thing that comes immediately to mind is that I'm now trapped behind this rock.
Okay.
How trapped? Like your foot's
Not
caught, or
forever. Like it would just take me a while. I can't just immediately come back out from behind the rock I was trying to push. I've slightly got myself wedged between the rock and the wall, so it would take like a while to
So you're between a rock and a hard place.
exactly.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. At least I am protected from flying projectiles. Maybe.
So he throws a rock at Aura, and it's a pretty bad throw. I mean, it arcs not too bad, but still misses. And it's definitely, as it went by, you saw it's like a piece of shale with these sharp edges, and it looks like he's cut his hand when he's thrown it and taken a little bit of damage himself. PC action, which Aura.
All right. So, Aura's going to return fire at the one that just threw the rock at him. I believe one. That's daring security. Yeah, so 1 success.
Your beam flashes by him, and they are going to charge to short range.
So was that a miss with 1 success?
That was a miss. Yep.
Huh.
Melee needs 1, range needs 2.
All right.
That's why they missed you as well with the rock.
That is, and the rock is not a
yes.
great, and the rock is an improvised thrown weapon, so they needed 3. But there was a chance. If they rolled a 1 on one die and a success on the other, that would have hit.
Right.
So, I mean, assuming they can only carry really one rock each, is that correct? Or are they
2.
like...
Oh, they're
No, they have 2.
like
They're like palm
small
size
rocks.
Yeah. But they don't seem smart enough to be carrying like a bag or anything of projectiles. And it's the top of the order. So player action, one of you.
I'm gonna try and push this rock again, both because I'm stuck behind it and because I still want it to become a bridge. No. No successes.
But no complication.
No more complications.
So another one with its last rock throws it at the commander, and it like really gives it a good hefty throw. But luckily, it just. I mean, it's reasonably slow moving. It's a decent sized rock, but you wouldn't be happy if it hit you. But you're able to dodge out of the way. PC action.
So he's got no rocks left?
He's got no rocks left.
Who's got a stick?
3 of them have sticks.
Oh. So can I set my phaser, or do I need to... Is that an action?
It's a minor action. So you get a minor action. It's like a bonus action.
So I can do that and then shoot.
Correct.
So Hunt will do that and shoot.
Okay. So you're like you quickly like you're pressing the button to charge
Flick it
up.
over the side. Flick it. Ooh, pew. So what damage do I roll? So 3 plus 3 is 6.
So you roll 6 dice.
6 die 6.
Yeah. I should have had you do that on the first guy too. I kept in the back of my mind. I kept thinking I'm missing something.
Really? 1, 2, 2.
So you do 5 points of damage. No effect.
How many were hit?
1. You didn't get any effects.
Oh, what? Even with
Area.
Yeah.
Area was you get 1 additional hit for every effect.
Oh.
You had no effects, but you did 5 points of damage.
Yeah,
but
I
you
would
hit.
have had 1, 2, 3 extra hits then if I had it rolled separately. I'm gonna roll separately next time. I don't. I think Dice Maiden tends to even out the rolls. Fires off. A few beams go out. 3 beams go out, but one's definitely hit. Probably the closest one to the commander, and it sort of zaps him in the middle of the chest. He sort of has a bit of a fit and falls to the ground, dropping his weapon.
One runs up and tries to... And he does. With a big stick, runs up and clubs Aura for... 5 and a knockdown.
All right.
But you can still function. You can still move. It's just you've been knocked down.
Okay. So from the ground, he's going to fire the phaser and try and hit the guy who just knocked him down. I have 8 for daring security.
Oh, combined?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 1. I think that's a miss.
All right. It's still ranged, even though he's that close.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's a ranged weapon.
Right. Aura is not looking so good.
And one runs up and punches the commander for 1 point of damage. The individual was reasonably small and doesn't appear to be particularly strong. Like, you almost would, and by the tattered remains of the Starfleet uniform, you think that he was definitely a scientist. If the uniform and the person go together.
So how does unarmed combat work?
Same. It's just you roll your... it's 1 to hit, not 2 that you need with the thing, but you only roll your security for damage. Whereas the phaser is giving you bonus dice.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But you'd need 1 success, not 2.
Hey. I need 2 successes to hit.
With a phaser.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. 1 with melee.
Yeah.
Or brawn. Brawn melee, 1. Phasers, 2. Partly because they're trying to make it a little bit harder because Klingons don't have a stun setting.
Yeah.
Also punches the commander for 1 point of damage, and I'll make it 2 points. It's another one runs up, and it's not like the attack it's vicious, and it's like an ape, and the anger and hatred is like really evident, but there's no training. It's not like a martial art attack. It's just a flail that connects.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all of them, because the other 2 are down.
New round?
New round.
I'm going to say Aura's going first this time, just so that he gets a chance, because he might not otherwise. So he's going to fire on the one that's right in front of him. Just knocked him down again. So he missed once. He's going to try and
Are
shoot
you
him
going
again.
to spend a momentum?
I will.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm just...
Yeah, I think I will. Does
so
that
roll
give me
3d6.
Yeah. 1 hit. So
Miss.
that's a miss.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Oh no.
So he fires a shot. The brute kind of moves out of the way, then fires another shot, but he overcorrects too much and misses again.
And it spooks it that it's had 2 beams flash by it, and it looks pretty spooked, and it leaps back, and it's howling, and it thumps the ground with its club, and it reaches behind it, and it pulls out a phaser, and it's holding it the wrong way, and it presses a button, and it starts making a build-up noise. Player action.
A build-up noise?
Like it's starting to charge to fire, or
Yep.
He pulled out a what?
a phaser.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Would it take my entire turn to try and extricate myself from behind this rock I've stuck myself behind without managing to push it over?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna do
I won't
that.
make you roll for it. I won't make
Okay.
you roll for it.
Okay, then Kelle's she's tried twice to push this rock over. She's concluded she's not gonna be able to, so instead she's just gonna work on untrapping herself.
Only because it was a complication.
Yes.
If it wasn't a complication, I'd let you do it as a movement phase.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's all she's gonna be able to do then.
And one tries to punch the commander and misses. It's a big flail with claws and tries to bite you.
How many's in front of the commander? Okay. The commander, with them fighting in such closeness, he turns around and uses his left hand to do an uppercut on the closest one. I do have unarmed strike, which has knockdown non-lethal.
Okay, so you can knock down and you don't have to kill them.
Yep. And I get one success.
If you're meleeing, that's what you need.
Okay, so that's a hit.
Yeah,
so then I roll my security. Is that correct?
No, just your security.
Oh, just the security.
Yeah, because the weapon gives you additional.
Okay.
You're not using a weapon, so it's your security.
6, a 1, and a 5. So 2 effects and 1, 2, 3, 4 damage points.
Yep. So 4 damage points and a knockdown.
Mm-hmm. At 2 effects, actually.
Okay, so it's a level 2 knockdown. So.
Yep. So he spins around. The guy that just swung at him was on his right, and he had his laser, focusing on the guy on the left with the laser. He realizes that this guy's a little bit closer, so he does a left uppercut right under the chin, knocks the guy backwards, and the guy is passed out cold. Or maybe hits his head on the way down on something else, just to knock himself out a little bit more.
On one of the rocks that was thrown.
On one of the rocks that was thrown.
The other one tries to leap at you, misses, and falls over. So it's not a knockdown. It hasn't had any sort of stun effect from it, but just a big sort of, as you're moving, it sort of moved at the same time, sort of lunged forward and sort of tripped on the uneven ground, and it falls to the ground behind you.
Mm-hmm. So it's 3 down out of the 6 now.
Yep, 3 are fully out. Yep.
That means new round.
That means new round.
Did Tuan want to do anything?
I was going to say, poor Tuan's been out of the fight.
Hey, just because I got stuck behind a rock. Is Aura still on the ground?
Yeah.
Because you said he wasn't looking good?
I mean, yeah, he's, the bash that he got was, pretty heavy.
Okay, Kel's gonna go take a look at that then.
Okay.
Is that daring medicine since it's mid-combat?
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll say it's being a combat medic at this point.
Yeah. Okay. I figured it would be. So that would be... All right. We'll see what Dice Maiden thinks. about this? Dice Maiden says no. Dice Maiden says you can't. No medicine for Aura, says Dice Maiden.
How do you fail a medicine? What does that look like?
He wants you to roleplay it.
I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, for the scene, technically there is these Neanderthal creatures.
I just say, yeah, she is intending to go
screaming,
check
they're
on
howling.
Aura, but she's not actually even able to get to him.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that's
punching,
fair.
they're attacking. So her focus may not be 100% on just like looking at the wound, because obviously she's also trying to make sure no one's going to attack her. So
there's two in front of them now. Is that correct?
yeah,
Sure.
more or less, sort of, not right in front, but yeah. You've got one that's behind you, and there's one that's sort of in the middle, and one that is close to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the sound is definitely an overload. And it seemed to have learned a bit about phases, but it's got two things wrong. The direction in which it works and overload.
Those are two things you want to know about.
And it lets out this big primate kind of scream, points it at Aura. And it explodes. And you can give me a well, both of you, because you're both there. Or did you not make it?
No. I probably got to where Aura is, just wasn't able to get right down and actually examine the wound with all that was going on.
Okay, so give me a daring security.
Daring security, okay. And Aura too, or just me?
Yep.
So that is 2 failures from me.
And a 20 from
Okay.
me.
Oh no!
So
we're
Aura's
doing
dead.
great over here.
They're not. He's not standing right over you. He's about 8 feet away, but he's holding it in his hand, and it obviously thinks it's going to shoot a beam of light at you, and it doesn't. The overload explodes. The phaser just goes. Poof. The concussive blast destroys the creature's arm, and he gets blasted back.
Oh no!
About 14 feet, smoldering, and just tumbles and does not move. Okay, now that was lucky. You both only take 1 point of damage.
And that's all it took.
Aura is unconscious?
Yep.
Okay, so you've got an injury. So there's the concussive force, some debris. It just sort of smashed into you, and it was enough to put you down.
Okay. How does the injury work? So is it specific? Because I have a type box where I can type something in.
Because that's important too. It's not in the quick start
good
rule.
to know. I don't know.
Aura is very stressed.
No, he's not. He's unconscious.
I'm sure. Have you never stress slept before?
But I don't know, because you can't be stressed unless you're having a bad dream. You can't be stressed while you're asleep.
I disagree. And out of combat, how do I recover it?
I
Time.
still got it.
Yeah, that and time.
Okay.
He just blew himself up. It is a player action go.
Did the medical officer
Yeah,
wanted to
I'm
run.
gonna try and do medicine again.
Okay, so because it's still a stressful thing, it is
It's
daring
still
plus
daring,
medicine.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's one reason I'm having some trouble. Not very daring. Okay. All right, that's one success.
Okay, it didn't actually tell me how many
Successes.
were needed.
Oh, no.
Are you using? If you're using any equipment, I will allow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I have an extra for?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. 2 successes.
Okay, so he will regain stress equal to your medicine skill. Or medicine. Yes,
It
there's
would be
medicine, right?
medicine?
Discipline.
Yes.
Okay,
That
yep.
is the discipline. All right, so yeah, considering the enemy who was kind of causing some trouble before has managed to explode himself, Kelle actually has a moment to get to Aura, pull out her med kit, and do some quick basic first aid. He's gonna wake back up and he's gonna regain 4 stress.
Does that mean I'm back in the fight, or am I still out for the rest of the fight?
I mean, you're awake, but you're...
Yeah, I think there's a maybe a round to sort of get your bearings and
Yeah, that's fair.
You can't
like-
jump right back up and be like, okay.
Huzzah!
yeah. I don't want to hamper people too much and take them out of the game, but I think realistically, yeah, if you just had an explosion right in your face kind of thing, there's a level of okay, what's going on? Where am I? Sort of like quickly getting your. I will say this one, who has suffered 2 complications in a row, has leapt up, slipped, and then cracked her head on a rock and knocks herself out, because 2 complications in a row is just bad form. Player action. Last one.
Be Phoenix.
What's the enemy or the person? Should
Club.
I say, not enemy. What are they doing?
They
Since the explosion.
they've been shaking their head like they're a little bit ringing their ears.
Hunt looks behind, looks up. How close is this guy? Is it within melee range or?
You have a movement as part of your action that's allowed. So he's like 6 feet, but you can move to melee.
So he's basically going up and doing a reverse cut with the phaser over the back of the guy's head.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. So the ground being a little bit slipperier and with the explosion and bits of body parts everywhere, he trips on what appears to be an arm and completely stumbles forward past the person that he intended to hit.
And as you stumble by, it spins with its club, trying to smash you into the ground, and it swooshes by as you stumble. So your stumble may have saved your life.
Thank God.
It was well timed.
Top of the order.
Hunt gathers himself, stands up, turns around, and does a right hook.
1918. Oh my god.
No, you jinxed it.
Oh my God.
No.
Stop talking, Aaron.
Oh my god.
No, we get Dice Maiden. We're sorry. What did we do to you?
They are aware they're meant to roll low.
We're trying.
I'm trying. I've been good up until now.
In 5e, we can roll really low.
Okay, so that's a complication.
That is a complication.
Yes, it
So that
is.
damn same arm is still underneath his feet. He's gone up. He actually completely forgot where it was. And as he's gotten up, turned around, run in to do a right hook. He just tripped over the same arm. And this time he's landed face first into the ground. Oh, and that's not good.
No, it's not. Yikes.
1 point of
Wow.
damage, and I'll take the knockdown. So 1 point of damage. You're lucky. So yeah, you stumble, and the blow should have been a lot harder, but you're sort of falling away from the blow. You hit the ground, and the club,
The momentum of me falling
did more damage than the club.
Dear.
So I will say you're a little bit stunned. I'll take that.
Yep.
This time, you sort of, your head wound too, the concussion. It's sort of like this is not recommended behavior and activity for concussed
This
people.
is not recommended.
Okay, player action. Both player actions in this case.
Both players.
There is only one cave person remaining, so there's 2 PCs. So in this case, both PCs go.
So Aura's just gonna kind of shake his head a little bit and try and get up into a standing position, but he can't quite do it, and he's back kind of crouched down on his knees. And he's gonna spend the turn trying to regain his composure.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. Okay. Kelle is going to very reluctantly draw her phaser, which she hasn't had out until this point, and she is going to try and stun the remaining enemy. It's she's probably gonna miss anyway, but hey.
As long as you don't shoot the commander.
Law of large numbers.
She will not do that. Yeah, no, because you need
That's a
2
miss.
success, so that's a miss.
But what's your security? Oh yeah, you have no focuses though.
No, she doesn't. She didn't want to be. She probably missed because she so didn't want to shoot anyway.
Top of the order. PC action.
Can knowing that I'm still down here a little bit groggy, can I try and trip them, kick their legs?
Yep. Because you're groggy, we'll raise the target number from 1 success to 2, but absolutely.
All right.
Oh.
And 11.
That's only 1
And
success.
3's 14. So does 14 make it, or does 14 not make it?
If it equals,
it equals.
It equals.
Oh.
Okay, so that's 2 successes.
Nice.
Yeah, I believe it's the same as typically if it equals in games. Again, I've got to check. It's one of those things, we played this game for a year and a half, but then we haven't played it for about a year and a half. I thought I remembered everything, but I'm not. But I think that if it equals, it equals. So
Yep. So 4 points and a effect. So
Okay.
they're definitely knocked down and 4 points of damage.
Okay, and Yep. How do you do this?
Laying down on the ground, Hunt looks up a little bit dazed. Just go, what the heck? Sees this club come down, hits him in just a sort of a mere, a reaction sort of thing. Seeing that this person's standing over him, the first thing he thinks of is trying to get them down to his level, and kicks the legs out underneath this caveman or woman. I think it was a man, caveman, and I guess they're knocked out as well. They land so hard because of the surface. It's a rocky surface, I'm assuming. Yeah. They get pretty much knocked out from their fall.
And combat is over.
It only took us a very long time. All right, Kelle's gonna go over and check on the commander, who should not really be hitting his head when he's already got a concussion.
Lieutenant, I haven't hit your head. It's other parts of the body. Yes.
I couldn't really
Oh.
see what you were specifically hitting, but
Geez, that hurt. Lucky for he looks down at the arm. It looks away.
do you have any injuries?
Yes. A
Okay.
concussion.
Any new ones?
No. Yes.
All right.
But maybe after you see to these guys first. How's
Yes, I do want to take a look
Lieutenant?
at them.
Hang on.
Thatcher.
How's Lieutenant Thatcher?
He is conscious again, which is an improvement. He really should rest, but
Oh, my head.
Hunt looks to the side, around beside like around behind Tuan. You still with us, Thatcher?
Yeah. Oh, I've got this wicked headache.
Oh, yeah. Join the club.
Yeah.
again, please, everyone, stop sustaining head injuries. All right, I'm gonna take a look at, I guess, the one that the commander just knocked out, as that's the closest one. And is this a medical check
Yes.
to kind of see what their whole deal is? Okay. And I am using a tricorder.
You should. Oh no, I can't actually say that because I'm not a medical guy.
Well, there is that. So I've got 2 success.
So, are these guys human?
Some of them may be, certainly not all of them. One appears to be an Andorian. I will find out whatever I can. As I said before, I'm slightly worried that if it's possible, these are people from the research station. So yes, they are human. Humans and one Andorian, but this is very strange. Something has modified their DNA to the point where it's almost as if they've devolved back to a more primitive version of their species. For humans, you would term it as Neanderthals, really, around that level of development.
What could have caused something like this?
Hunt pockets his phaser. He's picking up the Tuan's saying this. He's picking up the clubs and stones and throwing them over the cliff.
Gathering. It definitely isn't anything I've encountered before. I am not aware of anything that would cause this.
So, like some form of genetic experimentation or something like that, or you wouldn't, or you can't determine whether it's a natural cause or a unnatural cause.
All I can really say is that their DNA has changed. I don't know what has caused it.
All right. So, for all respects, these are probably still the Starfleet officers we are looking for.
I believe so, yes.
What are their vitals like?
With the exception of the one casualty, they simply seem to be unconscious, but otherwise mostly unharmed.
Is there a way to make them remain unconscious?
I could attempt to sedate them, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
No.
just for the fact that we need to get to the research station, determine what's happened, whether these are the Star Trek officers we are looking for, which I assume that they actually are, what's caused their de-evolution, and if help does arrive, we need to be able to locate them. And I can't ascertain whether this effect is reversible. Can you?
At the moment, no, I cannot. I will sedate them. I do not know if anything about their condition will mean that it would need a stronger dose or anything, so I can't guarantee how long they'll be out for.
Oh, these freaking headaches. Hunt's rubbing his forehead. Quite firmly.
Kelle's gonna go around and attempt to knock, well, they're already out, to lengthen the time of unconsciousness for all these still living individuals.
Okay, give me a medicine roll. Why
Okay.
not? Target number 2. If you roll more than that, you get momentum.
Okay, and I'm assuming since I'm using equipment, I still get the extra d20?
Correct.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be one success.
So you do think you succeed. There we go. But maybe not quite as long as you'd hoped, and maybe not. Yeah, you didn't do it brilliantly. You're thinking that they are resisting the treatment.
Okay.
Not consciously, but the DNA
Their
change.
bodies.
Yes.
But you do think it succeeds. You're just not like...
They will not wake up immediately. There does seem to be some form of resistance to the sedation, so I don't know exactly when they will wake up. We should have some time.
All right. Thanks, Lieutenant. I guess there's not much more we can do here. We should try and continue on the way. Are you up for a short stint, Thatcher?
Yeah, I can make it. I'm gonna need to lay down pretty soon, but I'm okay for now. I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Well, we know one's dead.
Well, dead?
He exploded himself.
He didn't explode his entire self. He blew his arm off.
Oh, bloody arm.
You slipped on it twice.
Yes.
That was handy.
Oh, God.
The Voyages of the U.S.S. Pegasus utilises the excellent official rules Star Trek Adventures released by Modiphius Games. Featuring Emily as Lieutenant Kelle, Shadow as Lieutenant Aura, Raveninsane as Commander Hunt, and Ghost as the GM. Many of the sounds come from Sirenscape, an excellent app for bringing more life to your gaming table. You can find us at critfail.com.